when the Lamb opened the seventh seal, silence covered the sky, 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 covered the sky.
They were based on that same kind of theme, Salam Tanat, Inayist and greeting. This is your brother Ras Yadinos. This is your brother Yadin. This particular sabbatical study, the one on Exodus, we haven't really published that much of the lectures, the more detailed and in-depth lectures that we've gone into, because many of these really need to be studied, and we want to edit them as well, so that some of the materials, the evidence that we can bring the correspondence of some of the word pictures and the presentation, so that one can really get the importance, especially our brothers and sisters can get the importance of the knowledge, the ancestral wisdom from the scriptures. But what we want to update ones and ones with is concern the whole 2012 and some of the corresponding studies that we have been doing and related studies on December 21st, especially 2010. And we won't put the question out there, is or was, should we say at this time, since we're in 2011, was December 21st, 2010, the real 2012? In other words, this 2012 year, this year that really begins off a certain sequence of change. You understand, speaking about the change that ones and ones are looking and expecting in 2012, we have to also recognize what's happening in the here and now and the signs that are already revealing themselves. You understand that many of the people are either being hoodwinked and bamboozled, or being distracted or deceived, or they're being told to look for 2012, and they're forgetting about all the signs that we already have seen and have borne witness to, and the positive affirmations that our own sense of judgment, if we would weigh and balance the evidence that we have, we must say that 2010 was the real 2012. And we're just going to go through this briefly. Like we said, we've gone into more detailed lectures on this particular subject matter, very important subject matter, especially as it connects with scriptures and the true interpretation of the Bible and the revelation of Christ and his kingly character and the revelation of Rastafari. Now, in 2010, there are five major signs. First of all, there was the alignment that took place June 26th with the square, the grand square, or from one interpretation, the erection of the Holy Cross. You understand, within the constellation, within the sky, that took place, which was that same alignment to the galactic center, or that centering alignment that is to be expected in 2012, but it's already occurred and it's not on the astronomical chart. So do we have a 2-year difference or a more year difference? What does that mean? But look at the date. They tell us in 2012, December 21st, 2012, they tell us it's a doomsday, or this is the big day that the Mayans spoke about. But let's observe what just happened in 2010. In 2010, on December 21st, which is the winter solstice, we had an event that hasn't occurred in about 370-something years, rounded off, about a 400-year period. And this event, very significant event, which concluded what is known as a two-light and a two-dark, or a two-solar and a two-lunar, or we could say a two-father and a two-mother phase, is the lunar eclipse, which coincided with the winter solstice, a very rare event that hasn't happened in about 400 years. So we have 3 other eclipses that took place. Now, we're not going to even talk about the reverberations on Earth, beginning even, we can say, or escalating, let's put it like that, with the Haitian earthquake, and then with the other earthquake that took place in South America. You understand, where hundreds of thousands of people died and perished. These are significant events You understand? And even what's going on now, what we have that's occurred and still is occurring in Australia, the land so-called down under, which the false prophetess took a whole band of people over there, which is a very interesting connection, Oprah being in Australia just before this great flood and flooding that's going on. Now, anyone who knows the scripture knows that the Almighty said through the Son of God, through the Bein Ha-Elohim, or Yehoshua HaMoshiach, Jesus Christos, Jesus Christ, that he will not again flood the entire earth, but imply that there'll be floods in selected places. You understand that selected places would be flooded out. And we've been seeing these signs from the tsunami and from New Orleans. We've been seeing these signs and what's going on in Australia and there's so many other places. But let's look at the real escalation that has occurred and the real celestial and heavenly signs, because it says that the signs would be in the heavens according to the scripture and the true interpretation of the Wengel or the Gospels. So we put this question out there: was 2012 the real, or is the 2012 really? Did 2012 already happen? In other words, was 2010 the real 2012? You understand? Because there's some significant signs that we go into a little more detail in another lecture, but we wanted to put this out there. You understand? And hopefully ones can look this up. Look up December 21st, 2010. Was it the real 2012? Those basic key words. And there's some other sites and others who have observed the same phenomena, and they have presented various evidence that we've been checking on. A lot of it has really been verifiable evidence, but a lot of this is suppressed. You understand? In the media. You understand? It's not really put forward, or it gets a very minor. You understand? So we're being distracted from the signs that are already happening. And then there's this next question: does this mean that we have entered into, or we are entering into, that prophetic period of time that's known as the Great Tribulation? You understand? The Great Tribulation. We did the Hanukkah and the 7 Hathors of Hanukkah, and some work of Helena Lehman concerning the Hanukkah candelabrum, covering those 9 or so years, we're within a period of time, a 9 to 10 year period of time, window of time. It's very important, the fact that it's 2011. You understand? That it's 2011 when we put this in perspective with all of the relative signs that are coming in. I know I haven't done full justice to this brief presentation concerning December 21st, 2010. Was that the real sign, the key sign? When you study the Mayan calculations and some of the information concerning 2012, you find, very curiously and very interestingly enough, you find that if the signs we're supposed to look for have already happened, how do we have to reorganize and re-observe and reanalyze where we're really at in the prophetic signs of the time? When they say, do you know what time it is? Do we really know what time it is? Because the signs are really saying not to so much look forward to 2012, but really to that thief, that day that has come already as a thief in the night, not speaking of December 21st, 2012, but more correctly speaking of December 21st, 2010, the lunar eclipse, the winter solstice, a year which had certain great eclipses, 2 solar eclipses and 2 lunar eclipses, and the squaring, the prophetic squaring, or the erection of the Holy Cross in the cosmos on June 26th of 2010. And there's various other signs on earth as well. When we study the scripture and then we search, we seek, you understand, we search it out for ourselves, we investigate this matter. So, brothers and sisters, more to come on this. I and I shall know the truth, and the truth shall set I and I free. So stay tuned, brothers and sisters. Yah willing. Yah willing. Shalom. 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 Shalom.
Yeah! Christ be the multitude, the only one who
And when the Lamb opened the seventh seal, silence covered the sky, covered the sky, covered the sky, covered the sky.